Brance and Sales in that bot side. And the fact that they're already getting rid of that means that you're going to have to see these kind of wombo combo compositions that Loud have gone for, that won them the game yesterday against Fnatic, gone to the wayside.
Well, hey, this guy looks awfully familiar, my friend. This looks kind of like the guy that everyone likes to pick on first rotation blue side. He got through the bans. That means he's getting picked. It's Aatrox.
In my professional opinion, he's a bit silly.
Yeah.
He's a bit over
just a little bit over the top.
But look, I think he's really good at the moment. Robo going to see if he can try and bring that one to the forefront as well. Topoon, thinking of the Camille here to try and go for a counter, but I think realistically, I was going to say, I think you should try and go for some of these strong picks like the Hecarim with the Graves already gone. Try and secure yourself big, strong picks at the moment rather than going for some of these counter picks, because even that bot side, right? Kalista is still a big pick here that Brance could try and go for.
Yep, we're going to have to see if they want to try to match these roles, continue going after the same priorities, or if we're going to get the lopsided second half of the bans where they target different roles here. Sylas, again, being very popular. Champion's just super strong right now. He does well into a lot of these melee situations where he gets to scrap with these guys, always have easy access to a target for Kingslayer. So they lock that one in. So we got Aatrox top, we got Sylas mid. Do they want to draft their jungler here, or are they okay going into the second half of the bans and allowing their opponents to chip away at that pool?
I think the Sejuani pickup could just be super strong here if you want to try and go for the jungle. Look, Arthur is going to outpace you when it comes to the jungle clear. That's just what Hecarim does, but I think playing for that top side could be really good. But we did talk about the Kalista.
Yeah.
Looks like Brance wants to try and get his hands on that and see if he really can bot diff once more.
I respect it just because this champion has such a high presence in the drafts, like pick and ban. You would have to assume if they didn't take it here, Chiefs would ban it in the second rotation of the bans. So they're getting in, getting ready with that one. I am doubting this. I'm not going to fall for that one. Galio locked in instead. Okay, Camille Galio. This is one of the classic wombo combos. Camille sets him up with the ulti. Galio hits him with the unescapable dunk.
Yeah, and it feels like they're going to be trying to obviously try and play around that top side a huge amount with that combo and check here, but it does mean you need something that can be relatively fine as bot lane against the Kalista. So I wouldn't be surprised if you end up seeing Loud trying to prioritize getting rid of some of these AD carries that can play safe into the lane, something like an Ezreal or something along these lines, and making sure that you actually can try and power through this bottom side of the map, because I think Brance has had a standout performance alongside Sylas in this bot side, especially when Sylas yesterday in the Amumu looked fantastic. It feels like that's somewhere you could lean that pressure into.
Okay, so we've got the Sejuani banned away. That's the one that you hinted towards. It would be good for the scrapping in the top side of the map for Loud. I also like this Taric ban because that champion is so good against these wombo combos that have a telegraphed start. As soon as you see Camille ult, Taric ult, by the time Galio lands, they're already invulnerable. I'm liking the second half of the bans here from Chiefs.
We'll have to see, though, exactly what Raes wants to go for, because, as we said, I thought they'd prioritize a little bit more of these AD carries, trying to get them out of the pool, but not going to be the case. They only take away the Aphelios, and we'll have to see exactly what Raes wants to go for. The Caitlyn was hovered, which I could definitely see work, but the problem is that you're trying to play around this strong top side, and when you have that, you don't really want to have a Caitlyn that you need to try and give resources to in the bottom side. So looks like they will actually move over towards the Ashe. Still have that range, still have good engage, and it feels like a huge amount of this now is resting on towards this top side, but Raes kind of providing that AD carry utility and damage from the bottom.
Exactly. If they're going to be scrapping up in the top half of the map, pick a champion that can shoot an arrow all the way up there and try to help them out a little bit. Down here in bottom, let's see what Loud want to do to answer it. Do they go for something else that's high pressure? I would hope so if you've got a pairing with Kalista. Amumu makes a lot of sense. They'll lock that one in.
Yeah, I mean, Sylas has just looked incredible on this. Yesterday, myself and Chronicler were watching the games in the hotel room, and we were just losing our collective minds at how good Sylas was performing on this pick. So, not surprised to see it come through. Plus, having the, 1, 2, 3 different ways of getting into this. Double bandage toss, a toss in coming through from the Kalista as well. Can work out very well, and it still fits that style we're talking about for Loud, where you have a ton of just jump in, deal all your damage, try and murder anyone who steps into your vicinity.
All right, how do we feel about this Viego pick on number 5 here? I'm a little caught off guard by this one. I wasn't expecting that to be the answer from Loud.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting that we'd end up going towards something, even something like a Wukong or something along these lines that kind of facilitates that all-in engaged style. But yeah, the Viego I'm not as big of a fan of. Like, he wants to be able to try and farm up, play for that late game scaling, but when we've already kind of talked about Tali and Topoon, Arthur wanting to play heavily through this top side, I would have preferred something that could try and match that aggression around the level 6 mark, but it doesn't really feel like Viego offers that. So it feels to me now like Sylas needs to start moving out of this bot side to try and play that fourth man in this top side brawl that I'm expecting.
And the final pick of the draft here for the Chiefs is the Braum. I like this a lot. Next to something like an Ashe that has no built-in escape mechanisms, he can provide some protection. And also you're against 1, 2, 3, 4 melee champions and a Kalista. The ability to disrupt the fights, use that ulti as a counter engage, I think that could be very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, great peel, the opportunity as well to just double up on the slows in that bot side, right? Like, an Ashe arrow hits, suddenly Braum's able to just walk on your face and start getting those concussive stacks off. So, really nice bot side. And again, it means that you're limiting the opportunities for Brance and Sylas to actually go aggressive in this bot lane. So, again, it feels like this is where I'm going to be keeping my eyes on Sylas to see if he can try and make his presence known elsewhere on the map, which hasn't been something that we've seen a lot from him.
Well, Loud would really love to get this win here, move up to 3-2, put themselves in a great spot looking towards those potential playoff situations here in the play-ins. But again, man, for Chiefs, you want to get that win. You don't want to go home 0-5. I know when it comes to O, so many people were so excited about this Chiefs squad because they had such a dominant regular season in their region, right? They were something, 26-1 or so. I don't remember what the number exactly was.
They only dropped one game in the finals.
That
was it for the entire split.
It was an incredible record domestically, but unfortunately for them, their showing here on the international stage hasn't been quite up to the level they would have hoped for. So I want to see these guys be able to rally and exit with their heads held high.
Yeah, and I mean, Tally echoed that as well, right? Saying that this was the best team OS had ever sent, and that if they couldn't do it, no one else could. Now, unfortunately, they won't be moving on towards groups, but this is about playing for OS pride and just getting out of their own heads. Like, we've seen them over the last couple of, like, even yesterday, it didn't even look like the same style that we saw coming through from Chiefs as well. So just getting themselves back into a position where they can be happy and show what OS is capable of is going to be a big win for the Chiefs.
All right, we're on to Summoner's Rift here. Amumu's getting the Kalista binding to make sure that they're ready to throw him in there like a bowling ball as time moves on. Both of our AD carries running cleanse here yet again. There's plenty of CC on both sides. That is a death sentence if they start to chain that. One of the big differences, though, Tally does have Ghost instead of Teleport. So as the game gets later on especially, we are going to see a bit of a macro advantage there for Loud at the cost of Tally maybe being able to run amok in one of these fights if he gets the resets right.
Yeah, it's just, we used to see like the Predator coming through on the Galio because you get the boots and you'd run it in. Now it's just a case of, cool, well, I'm just going to go with the Ghost. And if we were seeing, like, instead of having that teleport to get back to lane early, you just Ghost back to lane. So it just, you end up getting there just quick as long as you can play your lane state correctly. So I think it'll be fine for Tally. Even going for the Aftershock as well just means he's going to be so much beefier in these fights. And the other big thing to note as well is, like, your bug standard on the Ashe is the approach velocity. The fact you have that means that if one of these Qs even lands from Braum, you get an auto attack from the Ashe. That speed up is going to be great.
All right, well, Sylas is immediately looking to get scrappy down here. I like that. Whenever I see Kalista drafted, you better be PvPing at level 1. This champion, she's good because she's dominant. If you're not playing to dominate, why are you playing Kalista? So Loud's already off to the races here.
Yeah, and especially when you got the Amumu here as well. Amumu likes to try and play around the fact that he has that double bandage toss early. As you start to go on to the game, though, because you run the Glacial Augment, that's where you start to really feel the squishiness of the Sad Mummy. So that's where you'll have the ultimate at the level 6 for Brance to try and save him. But until then, Sylas will have to pick his battles carefully because that's a very much a one-way ticket with the amount of CC that Raes and Aladoric are bringing to the table.
Now let's see what our junglers are doing here this game. We're going to get another red side start. You can see that Arthur started with his chicken camp. Hecarim just clears it so fast. AoE spamming on that camp just makes it easy peasy, 1, 2, 3 easy. But we are going to get the full red side clear coming out of him. Looks like Croc is going to skip that. The Krug's being left up so he can path towards the top side. As we get our lovely tri-lane camera to see the state of everything, it's Topoon with early control over top, getting that one to crash into Robo's turret. Tally's got the push in mid, but Croc is coming around. Might look to make something happen here, but he backs away instead. Loud also having control over the bottom lane, but the wave is stacking up to push back the other way for the Chiefs.
With this Sylas in the mid lane, though, Tally is going to have to be very careful about how he tries to enact his plays around level 6, because tinowns can also answer with a lot of these plays. We already talked about how important it is going to be to move towards that top side, but, I mean, if Topoon is locking Robo in there, well, Topoon is now locked in there as well for when this Sylas for tinowns comes up there. So I'm very curious to see how Chiefs are going to try and play around this mid lane. I'd love to see some early plays towards Tally in the mid lane, try and burn some summoner spells on tinowns, so he just has to play that a little bit further back and buying more room for Tally. As you can see, they just lean into side lanes and try and make it a little bit of a nuisance for himself.
just be as annoying as possible. Topoon's also reading from that book here up in the top side, doing a good job making these short, instant trades when he has the shield ready to go, so the Aatrox is not able to trade back effectively with him. The farm's still dead even between them, though, so even though Robo's health bar's hurting a little bit more, he's not feeling too bad, still has the potion in inventory as well. tinowns gonna go ahead, use that first TP of the game here, 4 minutes in to get back into the mid lane. Does have a refillable Dark Seal Doran's, as now we might have some problems here. Topoon gonna find himself ganked. That's Croc stopping in. That's Croc getting it done. That's Robo getting the money.
And we talked about how we want to see Chiefs making early plays mid. Well, Croc just goes, hang on a second, if you're gonna go top, well, I'll just go top straight off rip and make sure that we're in a good position now. So immediately getting that advantage for Robo, we'll just be able to crash this wave, set up a nice reset timing for the Aatrox as well. Great stuff for lane.
Feels awesome for these guys here early on. There you go. All right, Camille, farm that up. Yes, Topoon will have more farm overall by the time this wave is cleared, but Robo's the one who got the money. I love the fact that they were able to put the first blood on the laner as well, especially when you've got these bruiser versus bruiser, carry versus carry types of matchups. Having that gold lead can really make you feel better and really make the other guy feel like he's just got his back against the wall.
Yeah, especially the earlier you get towards this Eclipse, the more obnoxious this Aatrox becomes. So already with the serrated Dirk will mean that he's going to have a good time trading against Topoon here in this top side, especially in extended trades where he can kind of use the fact that he's going to have a ton of healing, and that burst trade that this Sheen is going to offer for Topoon just won't try and match. At the moment though, good job on the bot side for Raes and Aladoric, like actually having decent control here against Sylas and Brance, who yesterday really stepped up against Fnatic, so already keeping them in check. We won't see them trying to just take over that game already from the bottom half of the map.
Yeah, whenever Kalista's not having her way in bottom lane, the other side is by default doing a good job, I would have to say, because that's where she wants to run away with it. She likes to get those early leads. Arthur, again, going to be moving into this top side jungle. You actually saw him recalling in this brush earlier, trying to protect Topoon as Topoon was trying to get the wave shoved in. It didn't work out too well because Croc got the gank after that, but now Arthur's going to get scared away down to half HP. He'll walk on out.
I love what Chiefs are doing here, right? They're already trying to set up, they're like, look, Tally has that level 6, let's go and see if they can make a play. I remember we were saying, look, Sylas would need to roam. Well, we got the roam through.
Brance is coming in first. tinowns going after these guys. He'll look for the stolen Glacial Fissure as Tally has to flash away. 200 HP left. Loud will force both summoner spells out of the Chiefs mid lane.
So Chiefs were like, look, chances are Sylas can try and roam up towards this top side and lock us down. So we're going to send Aladoric. So Loud go, hang on, well, if they're going to send 4 people, we'll send 5 people. Let's get the Kalista up here as well and make sure we can make this a scrap. Now, Croc will spot out that this Rift Heart at the bottom side had been started up by Sylas. We'll just grab that one for himself, but already Loud trying to prevent everything they can from Tally getting access to the map.
Exactly, and Croc having access to the extra EXP that he got from First Blood in the top side, being a part of that kill, as well as stealing away that extra Scuttle Crab. He is the first jungler to 6, makes him much, much scarier, makes his resets turn into a whole different beast. So I want to see him get involved yet again. We can see him leaving the base now with the Noon Quiver, with that longsword, heading back up towards the top half of the map. The buffs are now respawning for the second time, as junglers will be handing those off to laners you would expect. But if you're Topoon, you gotta always be aware of the thought of that Viego coming back top.
And that's, I think, what Chiefs are trying to set up at the moment, right? You've got Arthur on this bottom side. They've actually got like separated clear paths here for both junglers. So as Arthur moves up towards top side, I imagine we'll see Tally try and shove him mid, but looks like he's just gonna go for the gank.
Oh boy. Seo's trying to get away from it. He gets stunned up, but he buffers through it with a bandage toss, but he buffers backwards. Not a whole lot of places to go. The Chiefs are on the board.
Nicely done here for Chiefs, especially now killing Sylas to get the push in this wave. Might try and look up towards this Rift Herald as well, as Arthur will go for the reset, but immediately Loud start to go for the cross map. Get vision in on this top side, make sure they know exactly what's happening in the Chiefs jungle on that Rift Herald side. Maybe we even see them stealing away the Red Bull.
Topoon trying to jump away there from the range of the Infernal Chain. Still got hit by the Q2 on his way out, though. So Robo doing a good job trading back and forth. Total gold just popped up on the left side of the screen. It's the Chiefs jungler that is leading the way. The power of the farming on the Hecarim. But now Croc is ready to go in, and he's got tinowns right behind him. Tally could be in some trouble as Arthur shows up, and he's ready to fight now, too. Tally goes over the wall. tinowns with the flash. Robo kills Topoon off screen as Arthur tries to get away. The bandage toss will not connect, but Loud just got 2 for nothing.
Fantastic job from Loud. Again, getting in for the cross map. They get the vision down on the top side for the Rift Herald. They're like, cool, we can make that pick on Tally. Tally trying to protect the top side, but ends up running into the mid jungle of Loud. And they even have Sales moving up there as well. Numbers advantage gives them the Rift Herald and that kill.
That was a massive swing for Loud here, getting the kills in the skirmish, in the top side. Rift Herald uncontested, being taken by a single man. That means you don't have to put any extra resources in securing this. This one's gonna hurt the Chiefs.
It even has Topoon back away from the top wave as well, right? So Robo now gets to have a good reset. He's moving back up towards this top side. Sylas as well, just hovering over the wall, but we just see here on the top side, the Robo had that push in on the top. There we get the stolen away ult as well, means that Tally gets caught out. And it's just a bit unfortunate here where Tally tries to escape away, but doesn't have that flash because it was Burge earlier trying to make the plays happen. So tinowns knows that and immediately goes in on the play.
Yeah, tinowns stealing that Galio ulti. That is the best Galio ulti we've seen in the game so far, and it wasn't cast by Galio. There we go. I love the attitude that we get from the Brazilian squad of this. These guys, they got a lot of heart. They're super into the game. I love watching them, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been so sick. The fact that you have them screaming and shouting after almost every play can just show how hyped they are. But we'll have to see if they're going to be able to keep this hype up, because right now,
yes, sir,
they're looking pretty damn good. 1,000 gold lead, control of the map at the moment, and so far, Tally has been the main focus of, hey, let's just stop this guy from being able to get any sort of presence on the map. And Arthur just hasn't been able to get into the mid lane to try and help Tally, like, give him that space. And it's just been Loud thriving as a result.
So is that the recipe for success? If you're the Chiefs right now, you know, you're down a little bit. Hold on, I might not even be able to ask the question. We might have a whole lot of trouble going on. The bowling ball goes forward. Oh, but the bandage toss misses. Sylas' accuracy being a little bit off in a couple of these different skirmishes.
I'll forgive him after his performance yesterday. He had an absolute banger of a game against Fnatic, but well,
hold on now. Topoon's going in. It's not going to be a 1v1, but Robo doesn't even care. He's saying, what are you guys doing? He comes right back in 1v2. He's going to stand and fight Arthur and Topoon at the same time. He goes for the Infernal Chains, but he bit off more than he could chew, and Arthur spits him out.
Robo tries to make things happen, but he's just so late in the play. Now Croc trying to see if he can find Topoon. Can he pull a sneaky?
All right, Topoon, can you get away from this one, buddy? Nope, doesn't look like it. There we go, there's the dunk.
0-3 start for Topoon, and when we were already talking about, you know, Raes isn't going to be your massive late game carry. You really needed this Camille to get rolling, and thus far, it has been control galore for Loud. And Arthur, again, we were kind of talking about it, he does get the kill on top side, but we need to see him open up Tally in this mid lane, giving him that opportunity to try and support, so you can actually try and make these plays happen. Immortal Shield Bell now picked up for Croc as well, means that it's going to be very difficult to burst out this Viego.
Very difficult indeed. It also means, I hope it means that we get crit Viego, solo queue crit Viego, just building some more damage, going in, right? Like looking to set up himself for his own resets. Let's take another look at how this top fight happened, because Robo was willing to take this.
Yeah, he looked good at the start, right? Great trade against Topoon, gets the pullback on the Infernal Chains, gets that Q3 in the sweet spot as well. And this is where it's like, now he gets a little bit greedy, right? Because actually really nice Q2 to reset. But
oh boy, we come right back into the action, baby. Arthur trying to keep himself alive here, goes on a killing spree. First kill onto Seos, but now they gotta be careful. Loud coming back in, looking to find the kills. Tally's very low, Raes is very low. Raes is gone. Croc grabbing the reset on that one. Aladoric gonna be trapped in the pit. Even when Chiefs started off all right, it's Loud taking it 2-1.
It's wins across the board for Loud. Top, mid, and bot lane now going in their favor. Croc gonna get in here and start to steal away some of these camps as well. Chiefs just can't get a hold on this game at all right now.
Chiefs are struggling, and Loud is loving it. Mid lane about to lose a third plate here as tinowns just keeps getting more and more and more money. We still got about a minute left before those plates completely drop off, but it's Loud with already a 2,500 gold lead. It's Loud running away with the game, and it's Chiefs failing to find a way to stop this bleeding.
I mean, it's just going to keep getting larger as well, right? With all these third plates, he said 2 in top gone now as well. And here, Sylas gets a great ultimate again, like just trying to lock down the jungler, but I can't speak ever.
The replays can never start. I'm sorry, my friend, but the action just keeps going, and Loud just keeps going. Robo gets another one. Topoon, 0-4. 4. Arthur gonna die for the first time this game as tinowns gets another paycheck.
Loud are popping off. Do you know what? I don't want to speak if we get to keep playing games like this. This is sick from Loud. I'm so glad to see them step up, and especially when you're looking at Robo, when you're looking at tinowns, soon the best solo laners that are in the CB LoL, they're stepping up again.
Here we go. Aladoric trying to get away. The Chiefs wanted to get that second plate, but they couldn't get there just yet. Croc's coming in. Point blank arrow stuns him for a moment, but now Robo's going for the flash chains. Raes with the flash away. Stays out of the aggro range, but it's Loud in control yet again. 9 plates to 1 plate.
That's so sad. But barely. Robo not able to connect with that initial Darken Blade, so we'll end up having Raes escape. But even then, it doesn't really matter. The fact that Robo's already TPing down at 14 minutes into the game because they're looking for more blood says a lot about how this game is going. Mythics picked up across the board now. Dragon number 2 in 10 seconds. And I don't think there's any way the Chiefs can try and contest this, so it feels like trying to maybe make a push on towards topside, try and get some of the objective bounties that are already in the game is just has to be the play Chiefs go for.
Yeah, the Eclipse done on the Aatrox that you mentioned earlier. Yes, Camille has a Divine Sunderer, but this item has been nerfed so many times since its creation because it was so broken for so long. I feel like in a game state like this, where there is no tank on the enemy team, the tank is a support with shoes and a Kindle gem, you're not going to get a ton of value out of those HP-based chunks, and I feel like I'm taking Robo 10 times out of 10 in this sideline.
You might have a point, you know? Yeah, it's not exactly the tankiest of teams for Loud. And I mean, as you say, Divine Sunderer's been nerfed so hard, you're seeing Immortal Shield build for Croc, right?
Yeah.
Although, I will say, Croc has definitely been someone who's had some interesting builds, let's say, over the play-ins, but here we go, Tally.
Oh boy, tinowns is going in, but over the wall comes Seos. They're never alone. Loud is always bringing more dudes to the party as Topoon and Aladoric gotta try to get away now. They've stolen away the Camille ulti. They're gonna trap her in her own ultimatum, but the Galio's ready to re-enter into the fight. There comes an arrow from across the map, but Tally's still dead first. They still look to fight back a little bit, but they can't do a thing. The Chiefs are being crushed, and Loud are the ones smashing them.
There's a new Chief in town, and Loud are stepping forward. Croc sneaks in behind the tower. They take down another. Loud read the play perfectly. Croc stays on Dragon. They know the Chiefs are going to make the play top, and they just match them beautifully.
This is cyberbullying at this point, my friend. Loud are just taking them to the cleaners. They'll take the tier 2. They'll take the tier 1 in mid lane. They're taking every fight. They're 9 kills ahead. It's 8,000 gold at 16 minutes.
It has been such a phenomenal year from Loud. Going from 7th place in spring to winning 2-3 against Pain Gaming in their finals, and now taking down the Chiefs as well, trying to see if they can put themselves in towards groups. And this was just a great read. As you said, Croc is on the bot side, Raes isn't in position, so it's a 4v4 on the top side because Loud know that Chiefs didn't want to try and contest the Dragon. They move up top side. They abuse the fact they've got those big mythic advantages. And even here, Brance, like, he still manages to survive, somehow escaping out the backside here, so he gets in behind the tanks once more.
You know the fight is trouble when the max duration Ashe arrow hits the AD carry. They're ready to go, man. They're ready to go. They know how in control they are of this game. And remember, we talked last game a lot about how, you know, Fnatic was such a storied org. They've been to so many tournaments. We talked even this game about how Chiefs are saying, yeah, this is the best squad OS has ever produced. Loud as an organization joined League of Legends in 2021. This is not one of those long storied histories. This is not one of those, like, they've been around forever types of groups. They showed up and they're kicking ass.
I think they're giving a bit of credence to what Fudge tweeted as well, right? Saying that this is the best team that we scrimmed. Well, they're looking pretty damn clean at the moment, has to be said. So, I mean, it's good to see CB LoL stepping up as well. Like, this has been a region that for so long, you could see the fans get behind them. They started to creep up and up in the standings, and we'll have to see now if Loud can really bear that mantle in the later portions of today, and even if they can try and move on towards groups as well for Worlds, it'd be such an incredible moment for CB.
Well, there goes that last remaining tier 1 turret on the side of the Chiefs. Second Herald's gonna make sure Loud can take that one down without an issue, and it's a 5-man play. The Amumu bandage flew out, just barely missed an enemy character, but now they're ready to go. Flash engage, Loud is in there, Chiefs are out of there, blink and you'll miss it. Here comes Loud. Topoon will tried to stand and fight, but he just can't do it. Croc is low. He barely escapes the bucket of chicken as Loud just splatters him.
Where'd they go? You just, I don't know where they went. I just saw them go underneath the towers like, all right, well, this either wins the game or cracks it open, and they just disappeared.
That's League of Legends right there. None of that hand-holding, play safe, waiting for late game type of stuff. Real men dive turrets. Real men are going in, and Loud are really ready to go.
It was such a great engage. I mean, immediately, you just see all the damage come through, and there's not a hope. Sylas once more. We talked about this Amumu, how great it's been for him. Gets the setup. Dunk down comes through from Robo. A triple kill in this play. And it's just chaos. Everyone on Chiefs is falling right, left, and center.
I love this. It was a 4-for-2 trade. So yes, Loud lost a couple of their own guys in that fight, but they showed that they are not afraid to just steamroll with this lead.
It was a 5-for-2 though, because I think Chiefs Mental went with that one as well.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
when you see something like that, it's gone. It's out of there. Like, you're being dove 19 minutes into the game. Baron hasn't even spawned, and you're being dove at your tier 2. Loud are so in control. Look at that gold lead, Flowers. Like, this is insurmountable for Chiefs.
Oh, they are just robbing them blind. Loud, they're hitting second item power spikes already. Black Cleaver on the Aatrox, Blade of the Ruined King there for the Viego. Your Everfrost Zhonya's double OP active for the Sylas, giving him so much playmaking potential. The gold difference is just a mountain. You're gonna need climbing gear to get to the top of the thing. Loud are making a statement here in their last game of, I will call, regular group stage play, because I do expect we'll end up seeing some tiebreakers.
Yeah, I mean, look, there is no way we're not getting at least some tiebreakers today, but I'm excited to see if Loud continue to bring this. Like, Sylas, this Amumu, I feel like it needs to be banned. We saw Chiefs kind of go for the misfortune side of it, but it just looks like Sylas. I mean, 1 or 2 missed Spanish toss in the early stages, but he has been so good with his engages throughout play-ins, and now you're seeing Chiefs fall to that once more. Dragon picked up number 2. Baron, it's just left there at the moment, but it feels like a matter of time until they move over. They're even going to go for the picks.
Yeah, they're going for the flank now with Robo coming around. Brance already kills Arthur. There goes Raes. Enemy jungler's dead. Enemy AD carry's dead. If you were waiting for your green light for Baron, there it is.
Yeah, we're about to get some purple lights in here. Going to be picked up for Loud very, very quickly. And yes, Topoon is going to stay pushing on the bot side. There was no reason for him to join in.
No.
He was never going to save that play. So
that was
I think
a beatdown.
Yeah, trying to get some plates, or trying to get some of that objective gold is going to be the best bet. But it feels like a drop in the ocean for what Loud have created here.
All right, if you are the Chiefs, it's time to put your football helmet on and get ready to take a hit, because you know these guys are ready to just go for whatever is left standing. They did it underneath the bottom lane tier 2 turret with nothing. Now they've got a 5-digit gold lead. Now they've got Baron on all 5 players. Robo's getting caught out a little bit here. They're gonna try to come in and rescue him. A lot of damage coming out. He dies immediately. tinowns shows up, and now he's in a 1v3. He goes right back in. He's still looking to fight. Remember, he's got the stasis. That is huge for buying time. They dash away from the ulti coming out from Raes. The Chiefs are still trying to fight back. Croc goes in. Croc might go down. He can't find Aladoric, and Raes grabs a shutdown. Loud have gotten too confident, and Loud have dropped the ball.
Chiefs refuse to say yes in this. They will keep fighting the whole way through. That's a ton of shutdowns that have gone over onto their side. They'll get the objective bounties here as well. And just when it looked like Loud might have been able to close out this game, we're looking at a nearly 3,000 gold deficit off the Red Bull Baron power play.
That was an absolute grief from Loud. If you do that in my solo queue game, I'm reporting you. They just go in a conga line one after another. Robo gets caught here. He tries to fight for it, but it doesn't work.
But that's the thing, right? Like, look at where they're positioned on the map. Robo, a bit overextended on this, and Chiefs immediately jump onto him. And now it's that slow run down to the bottom side. You can buy a bit of time here, tinowns, but you're just slowly losing members bit by bit. The kalista doesn't show up in this fight right until the end as well, so Chiefs completely outgunning Loud the entire way through this fight, and that's the hope that maybe Oaths would needed to get back into this, but it's one that they'll have to do again if they hope to bring this game back.
One of the things that I always sarcastically say when a game is very one-sided and somebody asks me, all right, well, how does the other team come back into this, is Well, if they walk at you one by one and just individually die a few times, that's how you win. That's what Loud did, but I think they've corrected the mistake now. They're back into the Loud death ball that we know and love, and they're rolling down mid lane, 5v4 for the next 20 seconds. Tally's gonna have to run away. Loud still has the Baron on Brance, which is very important because that just gives all of the effect that you need. They can force down the tier 3, force down the inhib. Oh my goodness, are they just gonna go in the game? Are they gonna make up for their sins in bottom lane and just end it now? Let's go. Let's see if they can make it happen. Tally's here on the front line. Stasis keeps him alive. Sylas trying to get away here from those turrets. Topoon jumps right back in. Robo's now the target. Hextech ultimatum. Say goodnight, Topoon. The Galio makes an entry, but it's only gonna be an exit here in a short amount of time. Seos dies to Raes as now Loud continues moving forward. Aladoric's your target. Q3 hits him. Croc goes in with a stolen Camille body. It's 4v2 at the Chiefs Nexus.
Still though, there's no wave left. No Baron buff either, so this is just gonna be the last few creeps. They might get one tower, but this is getting risky.
Oh, Loud is not done. They only go in. Robo keeps chasing him away. Tally's back into the fountain. Raes is trying to free fire, but he don't got no damage. He can't do it. They'll take out 2 though thanks to the fountain. Loud may have finally been stopped, but this team, when any other team in League of Legends, you would think they'd say, all right, cool, we'll back off and reset. Loud just keeps going in. Now Robo and Croc might get punished here with a TP coming in. Topoon has a lot of chasing power. Robo knows they're gonna come after him. He wants to try to take one down. In the meantime, if he can, he won't, and Topoon gets the kill.
But that's the thing now. Look at the death timers on Loud. You've got Dragon that's coming up in 30 seconds. Chiefs can hold onto their base and should be able to try and contest this too. Croc, they're trying to stop the backs, but I don't think Camille will get there in time. I mean, Loud definitely did some damage to the base, but Chiefs, they're still holding.
I just love the way that Loud plays League of Legends. It's like they're just 5 guys getting into a game for fun. They're like, yeah, objectively we know that the safer, more winning play is to back off, but this is more fun. Let's dive on.
Giga chat.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Already, Chiefs, moving over towards this Dragon that we were talking about. Robo does have the TP, which you can join in 8 seconds. So this is gonna get risky. You need to like immediately back out of here, Chiefs, as soon as you get this.
Chiefs are staying for the Drake. Tally's here on the flank, but he's on top of a ward from Loud. They know that the Galio is here. Drake secured. Chiefs grabbing the objective bounty on that one. Robo's made his TP. He's ready to join the fight, but Sylas is going to die here at the very start before they can do a whole lot about it. Brance under pressure. They go in. They find the AD carry. Raes is going to die now. The fight's broken off into 2 parts. They save Arthur's ulti, and he jumps back in. Loud may get aced. The Chiefs have fought beautifully.
How are they holding on to this? Every single time the Chiefs, when it looks like they're out, are finding 1 inch back into the game. Robo goes for a very deep TP, which means he's late, and Chiefs pounce beautifully. 1 for 5 in that Chiefs are holding.
I guarantee, I don't have it in front of me right now. Chat's just got to be nothing but people run. Os will not be silenced. They are coming back here, holding on, fighting tooth and nail. Watch it again, how the Chiefs got it done.
And there's no vision here for Loud, right? So Tally's actually in a really good spot. This really deep TP is a bit unnecessary for Robo because it means you're still in a 4v5. Brance gets caught as well. He has to flash away, but Arceus has to way overextend to try and help him. But Arthur immediately onto the back line. No real peel. The damage isn't there without Robo. And Chiefs do such a good job of resetting these fights and getting in a position where it's more about these 2v2s, these 2v3s, rather than being an all-out front-to-back team fight.
Absolutely incredible. The Hecarim ulti save for that last moment. Sylas and Aatrox are drain tank type of bruisers, right? They want to be able to regenerate their own health through fighting. Hard CC just counters drain tanking. If they can't take any actions, they can't regenerate any HP. Beautiful use of the Hecarim there to burst that Sylas out. Now, we are getting excited for the Chiefs because honestly, it's incredible that they've cut the gold lead down from 12K to 6K. It's incredible they've tied the Drakes now, but they still have a long, long way to go as Loud still has a very impressive lead. Ashe Arrow's gonna get fired off, hits Brance. Robo's in a lot of trouble. Amumu ulti drops. Now the Chiefs are too far forward. Topoon is already dead, and Loud is striking back. The Galio ulti won't do a thing, and Aladoric and Raes are the last 2 alive. The Chiefs got a little bit too hype, and now Loud gets the ace.
Raes always known as the late game fight for the Chiefs. He falls, and with that, the final breath of Chiefs feels like it goes with them. Loud are pushing for the base.
It's one of those things, man. You end up getting a big couple of wins off of punishing your opponents. You get a little bit too hype on yourself, then you're the ones making the mistake. You're the ones getting punished, and Loud are the ones to take this game.
Chiefs will go out swinging, but Loud will put themselves to 3-2 and keep themselves in contention for groups. A brilliant performance in the early game, some missteps, but they still get it across the line.
Holy moly, what a game. There's gonna be people online that are gonna talk about how it was messy. There's gonna be people saying what the hell were Loud doing with some of them plays. But you can't tell me it wasn't fun League of Legends to watch.
Sometimes the certified bangers are not exactly the cleanest games, but that was a banger. And especially for Loud, like being able to see them